filter the data, to accept the data, screen the data. So many options are there and people are working towards it. Okay. Then value of it. Can you find it when you most need it? Veracity of it. Are you dealing with the information or disinformation, right? So we want actual information for us. Then visualization of the data. So graphical representations, videographic informations, all those things will apply towards this visualization. Okay. Can you make sense is the at a glance? Does it trigger a decision? Because we know that picture is worth thousands of words, right? So when you project it in the form of a picture or an image or a video, so therefore it makes appealing and we can at a glance, we can understand it, right? So therefore visualization is also important in big data. Then variety of it. Is a picture worth 1,000 words? As I just mentioned, in 70 languages, is your information balanced? So this kind of things help us to go towards this big data, okay? Then velocity, information gains momentum and crisis and opportunities evolve in real time. How is outlook for today? So velocity of information is available. Then viscosity of it. Does it stick with you? Does it call for action? So then virality. So viral informations, right? So we need to look into these kind of all 8 V's associated with this big data analytics. So this is another research area one can look forward for. So why is it needed? Obviously for cost reduction, then faster, better decision making, new products and services. So you can see the picture over here, right? So nowadays, everything they try to buy through the internet only. So therefore, new products and services, at the instant, we can reach to millions of billions of users, right? So that is the essence of doing this big data analytics. It is faster, better decision making, cost reduction. So new products and services, all this put together, we can go for this big data analytics. So how is it useful? We get the statistics and machine learning at scale. Okay, we'll look into this machine learning also. AI and machine learning is another major research area which is happening in today's world. So coming back to this big data analytics, the concept of machine learning has been around for decades, and now it can be applied to huge quantities of data. Because as I mentioned, large number of information is triggered every second, right? So how to process them, how to extract a good information out of it, that's all it matters for us, okay? So a lot of sectors, as rightly mentioned by the president over here, so lots of sectors are there, not only the education, you look into all of the sectors, okay, like healthcare, industry, military, so many aspects are there, one can look into these kind of data analytics in those sectors, okay? So big data boom is on the horizon. So it's more important than ever to take control of your, with respect to healthcare, it has been told, your health information. So not only healthcare, so in the government sectors also, military applications also, industrial applications, stock market. So you name it, you can have this big data analytics in all those sectors. Okay, it makes sense. So the way the data is projected in earlier years and the way it has been projected through visualization mechanisms, after analyzing the data, it all makes sense, right? So therefore, we can say that big data analytics is another research area, the digital transformation, which has been happening in today's scenario. Okay, so you can see that over the years, the growth is obviously it will never go down, obviously. Okay, so therefore, it will always keep on increasing. And here also, the fastest growing categories of big data and business analysis market between 2015 and by technology category. Okay, so it has been increased, right? So therefore, it goes like this. So you can see it here, non-relational analytic data store, cognitive software platform, content analytics, search systems, IT services, it's always on the growing side. So that was the second major topic which I wanted to discuss with all of you. Coming to this artificial intelligence. Of course, every one of us are talking about this artificial intelligence nowadays, AI, machine learning, and it goes like that. Okay, so there is artificial intelligence was there in 1970s also, but because of the rapid advancement of the technology of today's, okay, maybe it is internet, maybe it is fastest computing machines, maybe availability of the memory. So a lot of this computational complexities or the computational powers, which has been abundantly available in today's world, has made again this artificial intelligence to come back to its norm. And we can imagine like lots of applications people have been running through and trying to get the world to a different level. Okay, so let me give a brief introduction of this artificial intelligence. It's a rapidly advancing technology made possible by the internet that may soon have significant impacts on everyday lives. Artificial intelligence traditionally refers to an artificial creation of human-like intelligence that can learn, reason, plan, perceive, or process natural language. Okay, so a lot of things are there. Like we need to make the machine to be like a human being. So in order to do that, lot of process is possible, and people are doing it with their humanoid robots, and other technologies also are in place, like autonomous vehicles. You've heard of Google's automatic car, right? So automatic taxi drivers. So a lot of things people are thinking about it. And also think about the natural language processing. That is another area in the artificial intelligence itself, where say, just for example, I want to give about 5 to 6 years back, if you're seeing this Google's translators, or in the Facebook, or some other social medias, so that the kind of translation it used to do is there's accuracy of say 30 to 40%. But over the years, now you can see that context-based translations it is actually, okay, it can really understand with what context the language is written, and accordingly it will translate to maybe a native language that's a local language, for example, Indonesian language itself, right? So from English to Indonesian language and vice versa. So therefore the grammars has been built up so thoroughly by the researchers in these areas. And also there is a lot of scope in natural language processing also, because world is having many different languages, right? So just imagine if one content is given, if you can translate it to say around 4,000 languages at an instance, right? So everybody will get a knowledge of it. So that's a major digital transformation we can tell, right? So therefore, natural language processing is another area where artificial intelligence techniques are used, and accordingly, a lot of research scope is there. So these traits allow AI to bring immense socio-economic opportunities while also posing ethical and socio-economic challenges. It's not that you build an artificial intelligence machine, but should imbibe it with socio-economic responsibilities also, and ethically, and socio-economic challenges also should be looked into. Okay, they should not be disastrous. Whatever we are building, the machine should not be disastrous. So it should be on par with a human being, but with ethical values. That's what we looked into. Okay. So in AI, we can look into a lot of things like predictive analytics, deep learning, machine learning, text to speech, speech to text with respect to speech, and with respect to vision, computer vision, image recognition, machine vision. So then with respect to language processing, that is natural language processing, classifications you can do, translations you can do, data extractions you can do. There's another area in the AI itself, it is expert systems, planning and optimization. Robotics is another area where people can work. So wide varieties of things are there. These are the areas, but the sectors are the domains. We can plan it. Maybe it is agriculture, it can be health science, it can be military applications, it can be educational sector, it can be government related things, you name it, and you can apply this artificial intelligence techniques in those sectors. Okay. So making machines work like a human, think like a human, and process information like a human. Obviously, machines cannot beat human thinking, because we think, our thinking is, we all know, right? Humans think very differently and very fast thinking. In order to bring down those neuron concepts in the artificial intelligence or the machine learning concepts, obviously it takes a different level of approaches and algorithms, and the highest level of approaches, artificial neural networks, recurrent neural networks, or convolutional neural networks. All those things are in place in today's world. Okay, so people are working majorly in those areas, and they have been able to succeed to a little extent. And we all know that computers are very fast when compared to human beings. That's why in the game of chess, the computers could beat the world's topmost chess player. Okay, so it is possible because computers are very fast, and humans thinking is very different. So therefore, combining these aspects, so obviously will make the machines to work more and think like a human being, but in an ethical way. That should be the limit. Okay, so in one example, I wanted to tell that Facebook artificial robots, or the bots, what was called, they started speaking in their own languages, it seems, and obviously that could be a disastrous one, right? So therefore, Facebook immediately dismantled all those so artificially introduced bots, the robots, and therefore to a safer side. So it should not be towards that situation, but it should be on ethical side. Okay. So different fields where AI being used, you can name it. Okay, healthcare, gaming also. So that's another area. Gaming or the entertainment field. So another area. Transport, autonomous vehicles, business sectors. So like that, it goes on and on. Okay, so it says obviously the statistical growth of AI, it will keep on increasing. So this graph shows it's a visual representation. So visualization, what I was mentioning. Okay, looking at the graph, we can say that immediately, yeah, we can take a decision, right? So that's a data analytics part. So like that it goes. So there's over the years it's been improved. I mean, it's drastically improved. Okay, so that's how it goes. So again, another area, whenever we speak about artificial intelligence, of course, machine learning will be in part of it. Okay, AI and ML. That's how we start taking the terminologies. So let me speak a few things about this machine learning. So machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from
Mr. Rafi, I think there is some technical issue with Dr. Nalini.
Sorry, Pa?
Technical issue with Dr. Nalini network, I think.
Suaranya hilang, Pak.
In my screen, it's freezing.
Suaranya Dr. Nalini.
Oh, it's okay, Pa.
Yeah.
Dr. Nalini? Dr. Nalini, can you hear me, ma'am?
It disconnected, I think.
Yeah, maaf Bapak Ibu, I think there was some technical glitch from the computer of Dr. Nalini. So Bapak Ibu, we are very sorry. We apologize for the inconvenience caused. Just a couple of minutes, Dr. Nalini is logging in again. Yeah, kita minta maaf Bapak Ibu for this inconvenience. Just a couple of minutes, Dr. Nalini is logging in now. Terima kasih, thank you.
It's okay, Mr. Rafi.
Yeah, mungkin Bapak Ibu, let me take this opportunity to request all the participants to please, ask questions. Karena tadi ada cuma satu pertanyaan. Jadi ini Bapak Ibu dan guru dosennya dan juga siswa-siswi kita, please use this opportunity to ask questions. Kalau mau pakai bahasa Indonesia juga nggak apa-apa ya, jangan ragu-ragu ya, kakak-kakak jangan diragu. So please do ask questions. Ya kalau perlu translate, we will translate. Kalau saya sendiri bisa, saya usahakan ya. Tapi kalau nggak bisa, saya minta bantu dari Pasani, dari admin. We can definitely help you all out. But please use this opportunity because we have three eminent speakers, right? We have three eminent speakers. It's a wonderful opportunity. So please do ask the question so that we can make the best of the opportunity. And thank you. Katario, I wish I have a chance to study in NITE one day. Why not? For sure. We are definitely having collaboration between Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung with India. So I'm sure you will have an opportunity to have collaborative opportunities through the collaboration, right? So that will be there. But again, I request all of you all to please use the opportunity. Yeah, do not think karena bahasanya mungkin kalau saya tanya bagaimana, jangan diragu-ragu ya, kakak-kakak. Please do ask questions over there, right? So
Ravi Makija, I'm back. I'm
okay,
sorry
ma'am.
for the.
No problems, ma'am. Absolutely no problems. I mean, I think this is a part of the online.
Yeah,
online
that's
world we
what.
live in. So no problem, ma'am. Please continue,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah,
Please.
sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome, ma'am. Please.
1 second. Okay, sorry for that short disturbance. It was out of hand. Thank you for the patience. And yeah, I'll be continuing with this topic. As I was mentioning, hope I am audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So I was moving from artificial intelligence to this machine learning. Of course, machine learning is part of the artificial intelligence. Machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. So machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs that can access data and use it, learn from them for themselves. Okay, it's a learning, right? Machine should learn. So therefore, so whatever computer programs we are trying to write, so therefore these machines with the help of those algorithms should learn, and when the next test data is given, they should predict and accordingly give the. So accordingly, you should give the correct results. Okay. So there are so many ways of learning. So we categorized it like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or reinforcement learning. So all those are the jargons associated with this machine learning concepts. Okay. So the primary aim is to allow the computers learn automatically. So this is the buzzword. It should learn automatically without human intervention or assistance and adjust actions accordingly. Okay. So this is how it goes, machine and learning, right? So like that. So why do we need it? Machine
I'm
learning.
sorry, just a gentle reminder, 5 minutes more, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be continuing this. So therefore, with the help of this machine and learning and algorithms, so we should be using this machine learning concepts to solve a lot of applications and lot of problems which are available in today's scenario. Okay, so we find this machine learning in virtual personal assistants, predictions while commuting, social media services, email spam and malware filtering. So just imagine if your email is bombarded with thousands of spam mails, right? So it will be very disastrous. So therefore, there should be a mechanism to identify the spam emails and filter it out. Okay. So therefore, spam and malware filtering, it should be done automatically. The machine should learn automatically and spam it out, right? So therefore, so these are the application areas where this machine learning will be used. So online customer support system, online fraud detection. So like that, the list goes on and on. Okay, so it's a statistical growth of machine learning over the years. Of course, the trend is increasing. So of course, there's a future for ML. Deep learning techniques and machine learning architectures are going to change a lot in the next few years. You can see a lot of this already, where now with NLP, the only game in town basically is transformer networks. Okay, so therefore, a lot of applications have been worked through these machine learning and deep learning concepts. So next is about data science. So data science is a field of study that combines domain expertise, programming skills, and knowledge of mathematics and statistics to extract meaningful insights from the data. So data science, you can see mathematics is there, computer science is there, domain expertise is there. So all those things, machine learning, data processing, statistical research put together is data science, because we have lots of data available in today's world. So therefore, we should have capable mechanisms to extract them and analyze them. Okay. So it is the electricity that powers the industries of today. So industries need data to improve their performance, make their business grow, and provide better products to their customers. So therefore, data science is another domain where people can venture into researching. Okay. So this is about gist of data sciencing, empowering management and offices to make better decisions. Data scientists direct the actions based on trends, which in turn help in defining goals. Data scientists challenge the staff to adopt best practices, and the list goes on and on. Okay, so future of data science, of course, a lot of things are possible. Since time is short, I'm running through the slides. Hope it makes sense when we look at the slides. Okay, so it will impact definitely making data actionable for data science, shortage of data science talent. So these are the ways which are people are looking at it. Therefore, accelerating time to value, transparency for business users. All these things are putting towards the data science. Next big technology is blockchain. So it is a decentralized approach, I can tell. Okay, Bitcoins, we might have heard of it. Cryptocurrencies, we have heard of it, right? So it goes a distributed ledger technology. It's a distributed approach. So instead of having it in one centralized server, distributed ledger technology is redefining the way the financial transactions, data storage, asset management, and many more things, real estate, are looked into. Okay, so blockchain is the next big technology which people are working towards it. That's under research area. So government crypto $1 trillion protocol.
Dr. Nalini?
Okay, it's okay. I think this is the part of digital transformation.
Dr. Nalini, can you hear me? Okay. Papa Ibu, I think there's some technical problem. I believe Dr. Nalini is
Yeah, it's okay, Mr. Rafi.
yeah, right. So maybe Papa Ibu, please allow me. I think Dr. Nalini was almost at the end of her presentation. Since we are running short of time, may I now request Danny Adil to please continue the presentation. Danny, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rafi.
And once again, to all the participants, we apologize for this inconvenience caused. Thank you.
Is it on, Mr. Rafi?
Yes, Pa. Yes, Pa. Please, Pa. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Rafi, and fellow speaker, for this opportunity given to me to deliver my presentation about digital transformation. Well, everybody wondering what is digital information really about? So actually, to the term that can refer to many different and incredibly complex processes, the actual meaning of digital transformation is fairly simple. The use of technology to increase the value or efficiency of any aspect of your business model. Digital transformation is a core element in business planning across every industry today. The phrase refers to the application of technology in a strategic framework directed toward achieving a company's goal. Companies that succeed in this effort to become more digitally mature are those which combine strong leadership with agile, adaptive pattern. Now let's talk about how COVID-19 impact digital transformation. There is a survey conducted by Twilio to 2,569 enterprise decision makers in major cities around the world. They say 90% of the report that COVID has speed up their digital transformation. 80% of the companies also thought that pandemic has sped up their digital transformation a great deal. And COVID-19 was the digital accelerant of the decade. Companies say COVID-19 has accelerated their digital communication strategy by 6 years ahead. Now, COVID-19 broke down barriers to digital transformation. There are 5 5 main barrier in companies. The first one is getting approval from executive. 37% of the companies say COVID-19 has break down the barrier of getting executive approval, has break down the lack of clear strategy, has break down the insufficient budget, the reluctance to replace legacy software, and lack of time. This is how big is the impact of COVID-19 in digital transformation. COVID-19 also stimulate digital transformation. 79% of the companies said COVID-19 increased their budget for digital transformation. This survey is conducted by Twilio to 2,569 companies around the world. This is how COVID-19 impact in digital transformation. A digital future. Okay, all business are moving along the same factor. If you're saying how important is digital transformation? Heading towards a digital future, it's true of the world at large, and it's true of every industry in the global marketplace. Furthermore, that digital future is currently being defined by just a handful of industry leaders, mainly Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook. If the consumer encounter a new convenience from Amazon or from Apple, they will expect to encounter similar streamlining from any other company they interact with. Regardless of that by that size, all business are now subject to comparison with the frame of reference created by this market leader. Agility and sophistication in this new ecosystem are critical for marketplace sustainability. Business that resists the digital juggernaut will eventually fall by the wayside, and as they lose customer and credibility in this era of change expectation. Now, this is the quote that I get from National Bureau of Information Technology and Communication. Dalam bahasa Indonesia ini dari Wantiknas dan juga dari Bappenas. There's need to be a fundamental change from old-fashioned business as usual to out-of-the-box way with the help of digital technology. So there is an urgency in digital transformation. There's need to change, need a basic change from business as usual, that is old-fashioned, to do way out-of-the-box thinking with the help of digital technology. The impact there is include innovation, a new or improved product or process that implemented new technology, acceleration. We need to be fast and agile in this Industry 4.0 era. As our founding father of Industry 4.0 said, Klaus Schwab, no longer a big industry that will crush a small company, but a fast and agile company that will eat the slow company. So acceleration, we need to be really, really fast in this Industry 4.0 era. There's also efficiency. Time and cost efficiency is of the essence. Accountability, willingness to accept responsibility for your own action, inclusivity. We need start to see the world with different perspective. We need to put our feet in other shoes. We need to use empathy now in this digital transformation era. Then last is collaboration. Everyone would able to contribute in this digital transformation era. Now, Dr. Nellini has already said a few technological change that will bring great potential or great impact to the future of digital transformation. The first part is from IDC 2016. There is cloud computing. Cloud computing would contribute about $162 million in 2020. That's an increase about $100 million from 5 years ago in 2015. Artificial intelligence also will contribute about $15.7 billion in global economy in the year of 2020. IoT also predict will give impact to the productivity around in Indonesia about $121 million around 2025. 5G will push the growth of output global economy in the year 2035 around 12.3 billion US dollar. Yeah. Digitalization will impact and increase national GDP of Indonesia around $150 million in the year of 2025. Economy internet in Indonesia will reach about $40 million in 2019 and will increase to about $130 million in 2025. There is a lot of internet market in form economy in Indonesia. Digital transformation will fundamentally change our way of thinking, our way of socialize, communicate, analyze data, forecast something, or even planning. And this change will happen in 5 to 10 years ahead of us, and for sure will come in about 20 years to come. So we need to prepare to face this digital transformation. How about digital transformation in Indonesia? Now, in Indonesia, we carry out about 5 strategic imperatives that has been implemented by the government. The first one is underlying the strategy with regulation and policy is continue to improve and align regulation with digital development, align rules, local and enforce implementation of involving stakeholders. Develop the skill of human resources, human capital, and open up opportunity for intelligent and future talent. Building infrastructure and mastering technology, speed up internet access, connectivity, boost development, encourage development in resource and capacity improvement. Also, accelerate the initiative with funding and incentive. And the last, the most important, is developing a digital ecosystem. These 5 strategic imperatives has become a 20-year digital transformation roadmap. This is also taken from the National Board of Information Technology and Communication. In 2020, we build and we put the foundation to digital transformation. 2025, optimizing the solution. 2030, expansion to the whole nation. 2035, mastering advanced technology. 2040, becoming a digital leader. And 2035, also we has accomplished our national digital transformation roadmap. Okay, what should we be prepared to transform the public sector in each role, in government, in society, in industry, student, and also community? Well, there is an interview with Adam Cooper, a World Bank consultant, that say the importance of working with university. We work with university because we are very interested in capacity building, training, education, and creating the people we need by continuing what we do. Embracing higher education to provide education in digital area is very, very important. That's why we must embrace digital transformation in higher education. Current trends of technology in education, the first part is collaborative learning. Technology has made it possible for everyone to stay connected. We connect, we discuss, we enact upon situation collaboratively. This collaborative approach has gained importance in the learning process as well. In classroom, learning model, more teacher encourage collaboration by assigning group activity in the task. The second one is learning outside the classroom environment. Now we're learning mobile learning and also e-learning has become a part of us that cannot be dismissed now. We used to learn outside the classroom in this COVID-19 pandemic situation. Social media in learning. Some of the university also began to use social media to interact with their student. Interactivity in classroom, we use more advanced technology in our classroom, in our teaching. There's also a reason in data management and analytics, immersive learning with augmented reality, also virtual reality, gamification in education, and online data cybersecurity. It was only a matter of time before the education sector was taken over by technology. Although the acceptance rate was low in the beginning, it gradually gained momentum. Teaching and learning methods have undergone a significant change due to all the trend in education technology. Every year, new trend emerge to provide something new to the learner. They say change is constant. Similarly, innovation in the field of technology are also constant, and certain innovation can be implemented in the education system for improving their learning and development process. The result of this innovation become a trend, which then lead to better teaching and learning technique. Next, next we have Kampus Merdeka, Merdeka Belajar, independence of campus and freedom of learning. This is one of our government step to take toward digital transformation. Our Minister of Education, to quote Mr. Nadiem Makarin, our Ministry of Education said, the purpose of Kampus Merdeka Merdeka Belajar is providing freedom and autonomy to educational institutions and freedom for bureaucracy. Lecturers are freed from complicated bureaucracy, and students are given freedom to choose their preferred field. There are four major topics in this Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka. The first part is the opening of new program study. The second part, a new accreditation system for higher education. The third part, the law state of university. And the last part, this is the part that most students take interest in. The right to study outside their selected program study or their selected faculty in 3 semesters. This is most of the students take interest in. The purpose is to improve the competence of the graduate, both soft skill and hard skill, so they are more ready and relevant to the need of the time. Prepare our graduate as future leader of the nation who are superior and high personality. Also, the experiential learning program with a flexible path is expected to be able to facilitate students to develop their potential according to their passion and also their talent. Well, Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung, we also already implement this best practice of it. One of it is SRT Bandung has take collaboration with educational institution in locally and also internationally. Some of them may be quite familiar with it. SRT Bandung has cooperated with SRM University in India, SRT Bandung with NMIT India, Dr. Nailini, therefore, SRT Bandung with Acharya University, Bangalore, Dr. Farugasa, our third speaker from their institution, also with Satya Bama University in India, SRT Bandung with Mindao University in Taiwan, SRT Bandung with Shizuoka University in Japan. We also have this best practice that say that our institution also take approach to this digital transformation very seriously. We're trying to collaborate. Yeah, one of them is this international webinar is the result of our best practice to collaborate in this digital transformation era. So in conclusion, digital transformation in higher education has paved the way and provide opportunities for students to study without the limitation of time and space in their field of interest. Let's take this opportunity to expand our knowledge without the boundary of space and time. And we can also get recognition from the government, from the institution about our field of interest. Okay, you can keep in touch with us in my social media. Please do not hesitate if you have any question. And I think that's all about my presentation, Mr. Ravi. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pa Danny. Thank you, Pa. And I'm going to follow your social media right away, Pa. So please do accept
Thank you,
me,
sir.
Pa.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Hatur Nuhun, Pa. Terima kasih banyak, Pa. Thank you so much, Pa, for the wonderful presentation. Very interesting, Pa, regarding the digital transformation. You spoke about the impaction, juga the current trends in the education technology. I mean, very interesting, Pa, seriously. So I think there are many queries also. There are many questions also coming in. But mungkin kakak-kakak, please put in your questions, as many questions as possible. Please put it. Karena pasti kita ada waktu, kita ada kesempatan. We will have time to answer all the questions. So please do ask questions. Some fantastic questions about what kind of a lifestyle we are going to have. We have now we have pet dogs, which are robo dogs. What's going to happen? So many interesting questions. So we'll keep all the questions for the end. Yes, so Bapak Ibu and all my dear beloved students, let's not further delay. Now may I request Dr. Virupaksha Gaud to please give his presentation. Dr. Virupaksha, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Ravi.
Yes, Pa. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I use more Bahasa Indonesia than English. So that's why,
Yes.
the word Pa comes out and not Mr. or Sir. It is Pa comes out. So my apologies for that. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Is my screen visible?
So your screen is still not visible, sir. Yeah, I think it's uploading now. Yes, sir. We can see your screen now, sir. Yes, Dr. Virupaksha, the screen is yours, sir. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all the delegates and all the participants. Myself, Dr. Virupaksh Gaud. I am from Acharya Institute of Technology. I have a total 18 years of experience in academics and as well as industry. Today, I am basically sharing my personal experience in banking industry. I worked in different banks for first 10 years of my career. My contents of today's webinar is all about my personal experience in ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank is an Indian leading private sector bank. It is present across India as well as around the world, other countries. Even it is working in Indonesia also. It is having 5,300 branches across the world, having 15,000 ATMs and near about $118 billion of business transaction. So I am just explaining how the transformation took place in ICICI Bank in terms of their every business activities. And later I will just briefly explain what is the meaning and definition of digital transformation. And I will just touch upon the scope of digital transformation. Then I will just give a brief information about how to implement the digital organization. I will just brief about what is ICICI Bank. As I told, ICICI Bank, it is a leading private sector bank in India. It has started its business in the year 1994. Previous to bank, it was a NBFC. It was mainly lending money to the industries. In the 1994, it obtained the license from the Reserve Bank of India, I mean Central Bank of India, then started its business in India. So it started aggressively in India. So to capture the market and aggressively expand itself. So it adopted mainly technology. And from 2000 onwards, it has been continuously upgrading itself and moving from manual system to the digital system. So I will explain how the transformation in call center and in liabilities and in the asset business and in the insurance business and in the investment category. I will explain in detail what was happening and how we implemented and what is the present status. Let us go back to the call center. In the year 2004, I was with the implementation team. I closely worked with the digital transformation team. In the year 2004, in Bangalore city, we had near about 200 telecalling executives. You can imagine such a big, large size, because this telecalling team is very much important to generate the business, to acquire the new customers. So you can imagine the kind of investment and infrastructure cost to manage this such a large, big size. And in those days, in the 2004, digitalization was very limited. We were using manual system. We used to give the manual papers to all the sales and telecalling executives. They used to look at the manual papers and calling the each person and updating the each person record. In this process, there was an issue of productivity, and there was an issue of cost. There was an issue of feasibility of the business model. So all these things we were facing. At the same time, we have established all these business in the major commercial hubs. So obviously, cost has increased. So what happened? Our team has thought of adopting the digitalization, switching from manual system to the digital system. So we purchased a good amount of computers, then a modern equipments in the telecoms industry. Then we uploaded all the data to the computers. Now, the major change is here. Sales executives or the telecalling executives will not make calls now. Computer will make a call. That is the major shift. So computer will call the potential customers. In case if the customer picks the call, then it will go to the respective telecalling executive. See, this was the one major change. Earlier, what was happening, when the system was not implemented, our telecalling team, even counting the customers, those who have not picked the call. Now, computer is continuously calling the system, customers. If the customer picks the call, then only it will go to the executives. So we have saved the time. Now, computer will be continuously calling. Since computer is continuously calling, obviously the productivity has increased. Now we don't require 200 telecalling executives. To look after the entire big Bangalore city, hardly about 75 executives is more than enough. So we have reduced it from 200 to the 75. Not only that, see, whenever the telecalling executive update the customer feedback, computer will record it, and the next subsequent computer itself will call. So there is no missing of service to the any customer. So computer is systematically doing. At the same time, we moved from the major commercial hub to the non-commercial hubs. So in that way, we have reduced the infrastructure cost, we have reduced the manpower cost, and productivity has increased by 3 times. Such a tremendous change we brought by implementing the digital transformation. This is one area where we have achieved a great, immense benefit in the banking industry. Now we will move to the account sourcing. Account sourcing is the one of the major bread and butter to the banking sector. Earlier, we used to send our sales executives for the cold calling. What is this cold calling? Our executives goes to the roads, park, then shopping complexes. They used to approach the customer. In that process, they were spending a lot of time without any productivity. Sometimes they used to get a frustration. Sometimes customer used to abuse them. So these are problems we were facing. The productivity was less and business was also less, cost was very high. So we adopted the modern equipments, technological equipment. We moved from manual system to the digital system. What is this digital system? Earlier, when the sales executive goes to the customer, he used to carry with a manual application. He used to take the signature, then so many records, his address proof, age proof, then income proof, all those things he used to collect. Then he used to come back and submit. Then it used to take a multiple days, like 7 days or sometimes 10 days, sometimes 15 days to open one account. But now, after switching over to the digital system, our executives need not to carry any manual documents. They will have their own tabs. So they will carry the tabs to the customer place, especially the premium customers. Customer has to fill the application in the tab itself, either in the tab or in the laptop. So once the customer fill up the documents, the next moment itself processing will start. Within 48 hours, his application will get approved. So earlier it used to take 10 days. Now this duration has come down to the 24 hours to the only 48 hours. This is a big advantage. So customer is happy. At the same time, unwanted processing time we have reduced, unwanted processing manpower also we have reduced. Earlier there used to be manual processing, then we supposed to have large number of process executives. Now computer is there, everything is moved to the digital system. Even records, documents also collected in the digital form. It may be his photo, or it may be his date of birth certificate, or it may be his address proof, or it may be his income documents, or maybe bank statements. Everything is in the digital form. Even for the processing executive, it is very easy to check his document and approve his document. So time gap has come down. Now customer is also happy. At the same time, time has reduced, productivity has increased. And we have come up with a new ways of generating the business. You might have seen the SMS, short messaging services. So in the SMS itself, we included the application. You can see in my screen, there are two messages. One is from the ICICI Direct, another is from the Kotak Mahindra Bank. So it is the account opening message. If the customer is interested, we have given an icon there. Customer will click on that particular icon. He will fill up the application. Immediately his application will get approved within 10 to 15 minutes now time. So 24 hours to 10-15 minutes. That is a tremendous transformation. You can imagine the kind of cost we would have saved. Now processing executives also further reduced and infrastructure also further reduced. And especially in the demat account, everything is digital system now. Earlier we used to send documents for every transaction. Now we are not sending any manual documents for any kind of a transaction. We are sending all digital documents for every share transaction. We are sending them digital documents. So one side we have saved the cost. Other side, you can imagine kind of the environment benefit we are generating, because we are not cutting the trees to make or prepare the papers. So this is the great advantage we achieved in terms of the business. At the same time, we are also benefiting to the environment. So everything is moved to the digital system. Let me touch tab banking. As I told, sales executives used to carry the manual papers. To open one demat account, they were carrying the big size of application where customer has to sign at least on 30 places and give his all the documents in the manual form. We stopped it. We gave tab to all our executives. So now we executives will carry the tab instead of the manual application. Everything is filled in the using the tab. All kind of the products are sold through tab. It may be a account opening, it may be a demat account, it may be a loan processing, or it may be an investment product. Everything is happening through the tab. In the tab, customer will buy whatever the product and he will fill up the application there, and it will process within the shortest time. as the customer submit the application, immediately it will come to our processing hub, and our processing hub will start processing the application. Within a short span of time, it will be approved. That is the kind of advantage we got because of this tab banking. Then how the loan processing happens in the personal loan? Let me tell you what was the earlier system when it comes to the personal loan. During 2004 to 2008, we were dependent on manual system, and personal loan is such a product, it is a profitable to the bank. At the same time, the cost is very high in this personal loan segment. We were heavily dependent on our telecalling team as well as the sales executive team. The earlier model was again the manual process. I mean, either lead has to be generated from the telecalling team and pass on to the sales team. Then the sales team will go to the customer place and explain the product and convince him about the product and collect the documents and bring the documents and submit in the bank. Then the bank processing team will evaluate, a credit evaluation will be done. If everything is okay, then disperse the loan. This entire process was consuming minimum of 10 days. Now we have digitalized the entire system. Now what is happening is, as I told, lead is generated through the messages, short messages which I have shown earlier. Either lead is generated through the email, or lead is generated using the social media, or in the Facebook or any kind of a social media, Google. If the customer shows interest, so obviously he will be directed to the our system, our website. There he will fill the application in the online. When he fill up the application, if he faces problem, then only our executive will intervene in this process. Otherwise, our executive will not intervene. Sometimes there may be a requirement of intervention. Otherwise, there won't be any intervention. So application will be processed by the backend team. If everything is okay, then application will be approved and the loan will be disbursed without any meeting. There is no manual intervention at all. Look at the kind of change we brought in. Earlier, there used to be a telecalling team, there used to be a sales executive. Large number of manpower is eliminated in this. At the same time, whenever the large number of manpower is involved, there used to be one or the other problem. Sometimes manipulation, sometimes wrong disclosure. So it will have an impact on the non-performing asset also. Now, there is no manual intervention. We have also adopted new evaluating criteria like CIBIL. It's a Credit Information Bureau of India will submit and give a particular score to the each individual. So a lot of credit information will be collected back end, and we will verify the customer information with his bank statement. We have adopted the business intelligence software, data analytics. Through his bank statement analysis, we will identify his behavior, his payment criteria, entire behavior we will understand. Now our system will evaluate and assess the correct score to that particular customer. There is no manual intervention and disbursement will happen. Yes, definitely there will be one or two executives are involved. Manual intervention is required, but it has reduced to the greater extent. Time is reduced, cost is reduced, infrastructure cost is reduced, and manipulation also avoided. That is the benefit what we got. And definitely this is going to increase the profitability. When we increase the profitability, when we increase the business, so what is the other advantage? We can expand our business in the rural areas also. Now we need not to restrict ourselves to the cities. Today ICICI Bank is present across India, even in the rural areas it is present. Why? Because we have achieved the cost advantage. So this is how we have brought digital transformation. We have systematically moved from the manual system to the digital system and achieved the great cost advantage, increase the profitability of the organization. Let me explain one more loan to all the participants. This is an example from our own college during this pandemic. So we are also facilitating the loan to the students. It is our duty because there will be some students, they may be facing the problem. So we got into the tie-up with one of the organization. They are also following the digital system. It is very simple system. What we are doing, the first step is, if the student is interested, he has to submit the application in online. When he log into our website, he will see this pop-up. He will see this icon. If he is interested, he has to fill up the application. The next step is he has to upload the documents, his age proof or address proof or his income documents. He has to upload it. Then a document verification will happen in the back end. There is no human intervention. Nobody from the bank is meeting. Either customer here, student is also meeting, not meeting the banker. Banker is also not meeting the student. Without any meeting, it is happening in the back end. So document verification will happen. If the documents are as per the requirement, then loan will be approved. I mean, loan will be sanctioned. Then his proposal, I mean, his application will be accepted and dispersed. Loan will be dispersed. Very simple process. If we do, in case if we are doing the same process through manually, then you can imagine the kind of a cost and kind of a issues we will face. Since we have moved to the digital system, there is no issues, there is no cost. It is profitability with the lowest cost. Then let me explain the insurance. Even now there are companies still they are following the manual insurance sale business. Now we are not following any kind of a manual model. In the sense, I mean, it is ICICI Bank. Everything is processed in the system. Everything is digitalized. If the customer is already having the insurance, I am giving an example of vehicle insurance here. If the customer is already having a vehicle insurance, he has to mention his vehicle registration number and mobile number and the email ID. In case if he is already having a insurance and is continuously paying the premium towards it, then evaluation will not be there. Immediately we will accept the proposal and the insurance policy will be sent to the customer. What would be the time? Hardly 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Earlier, what was happening? It used to take a number of days. Now, no, not number of days, 10 minutes, in 10 minutes. In case if it is the new insurance policy, if the customer is not existing customer, if he does not have any kind of insurance business with us, then yes, obviously verification will happen. We will collect his documents in the digital forum. Our backend team will evaluate, and within 1 hour, insurance policy will be issued to the customer. So what are the savings? Manual savings. I mean, process is not there. Then infrastructure cost is not there. Look at the productivity. Now, in any given day, from any given branch, we will be issuing a large number of insurance policies. So obviously, profitability will increase at the most affordable cost. So this is what we brought in, moving towards the digitalization. Then the meaning and definition. Coming to the meaning and definition, already our previous professors have explained. I need not to touch upon this meaning and definition. Hence, I will go to the next slide. Why we need to adopt the digitalization. Still there are banks, still there are organizations, still there are industries, they have not adopted the digitalization. And this digitalization is going on from 2000, since 2000 digitalization is going on. Companies can survive if they adopt digitalization. Otherwise, it is very difficult for them to survive. Why? Because today we are living in the interconnected world. Approximately 4 billion customers or 4 billion people are connected to each other through the various platforms. So when our customers are available on the website or internet, there is no necessity to search the customer on the street. They are available. In our place only we can get the customers. So using this advantage, we can increase our business, we can expand our business, we can reduce our cost, we can increase our profitability. The more important thing is that competition has increased. Wherever you go on this earth, whichever the country, in every segment, large number of companies are there. There is a cutthroat competition. In the cutthroat competition, what happens? Everyone will offer the product at the cheaper price to the customer. Then customer will go to such a person who is offering the product at the cheaper price. So should we not offer the product at the cheaper price? Yes, we have to offer the product at a cheaper price. So if we adopt the technology, then only we can offer the product at a cheaper price. That's why to beat the competition, this is the only way we have to adopt the technology. The next important point is it is a turbulent and dynamic market. What is this turbulent and dynamic market? Fastly changing. It is very difficult to imagine what is going to happen. Take an example of COVID-19. So just 6 months back, everyone was panicked. Now the panic is disappeared from the market. That is why we are calling it as a turbulent and dynamic, means fast changing. Look at the change happened. Look at the gold prices, look at the oil prices, look at the prices in the stock market. Suddenly change has happened, dynamic. That's why in this dynamic, to survive, technology is important. Moving towards the digitalization is important. If at all in the manual system, please adopt technology, move towards digital system. That is the survival mantra of today's market. Then fast-paced changes, I explained this. Complexity. Complexity in the sense it is very difficult to guess, difficult to predict what is going to happen. So in this kind of a complexity, depend on the business analytics, depend on the data analytics, depend on the technology. Keep your manpower cost at lowest level. When you keep your manpower cost at lowest level, you can handle the challenges at any level. That's why to beat the complexity, to face the complexity, this technology is required. Moving towards the technology and digitalization is important. Then as I told, digitalization is happening in world since 2000. It is not a new word. It is not a new buzzword, but is a presently it's a buzzword because of the pandemic and other regions. Then there are several countries, they have moved ahead. United States of India has adopted to the extent of 71% digitalization. Take any industries, almost all the companies have adopted the digitalization. So they will obviously will have the greater advantage in terms of the cost. Their product will become cheaper and they can sell their product at a cheaper price in the other part of the world. So the entire country will become more competitive. So similarly, the countries which have not adopted the digitalization, they will face the problem because the cost of their product and services will be higher than the cost of service, the cost of the digitalized world. So it is important to move towards the digitalization and reduce our cost and improve our efficiency, at the same time improve our productivity. Then where all we can adopt this digitalization? It is not only certain industries, we can even implement, adopt in the customer interaction, even in the relationship management, even in manufacturing of the product and services delivery. If you are referring to Amazon or Flipkart, any of the e-commerce companies, they have adopted the digitalization. They will give the accurate information when the product is picked and when the product will be delivered. This is all possible because of the digitalization. Even we can adopt this product and services development. I mean new product and new services development. Let me give an example. How we can develop the new product and services when we are using the business analytics and data analytics. This data analytics and business analytics will give the accurate information of the consumer behaviors. Which product is more demand, which service is having a more demand among the customers. Looking at that particular data, we can develop the product and services based on the customer demand. So we can even adopt in the development of the new product and services. Even we can use this in the human capital management, I mean human resource management, in terms of the performance appraisal, in terms of the recruitment, in terms of the appraisal, for productivity management. So in all dimensions, we can use this digital transformation.
Dr. Virupaksha, ma'am,
Then
sorry,
what are the,
just 5 more minutes, sir, please. Thank you.
okay, I will. So what are the components in the digital transformation? So as my colleagues already discussed, we can use the big data analytics, we can use the sensors and actuators, and obviously we can use the mobile technology since everything is available in the mobile. We can use the cloud computing, we can use the natural user interfaces, then ubiquitous connectivity. These are all the components of digital transformation. By using all these components, successfully we can move from the manual method to the technological model, technological platform. Even we can use the robotics, we can use the 3D printing, we can use the big data and analytics. Then in terms of the process, communication, then decentralizing the system, then standardization of the product and services, then the smart transport system, and in people management, increasing the efficiency to develop the skills and to handle any kind of a business disruption, we can use successfully use the digital system. To develop or to adapt the digital system, the one most important thing is that we have to identify the skills. We have to identify the suitable people and use their services to develop the digital organization. If we are wrong identifying, then obviously there will be a negative impact. So as I already told, there are some opportunities and challenges. The opportunities is we can save the cost, we can increase the productivity, we can increase the profitability, and we can, so by digitalization, we'll become a digital organization. Because of this digitalization, there are various different types of modern advanced opportunities are getting created. These are the few job opportunities for the students and the everyone. There are opportunities in the big data analytics, artificial intelligence, robotic process, 3D printing, cloud computing, social and mobile services, virtual reality, and Internet of Things. As I told, this is not limited to the only few sectors. We can move from manual system to the digital system across the entire economy. And it is very much useful in the hospitality management, in the e-commerce business, and in the banking sector, where I've explained with the example, in the training, in the healthcare, and also in the supply chain. These are the very high potential industries where we can move from manual system to the digital system. Then there are few challenges also. Yes, there are advantages. At the same time, we do have a certain challenges. What are the major challenges? Privacy is a major challenge. So when you create your profile in the Facebook, you are exposed to the world. There are good people and there are bad people in the world. So at the same time, if you are exposing all your information, so it may lead to the misuse of your data. So privacy is one challenge, and individualized services is one more challenge. The cyber security and the convenience, the other challenges. Trust by the regulation and the market, the other one more challenge, and principles and disclosure. So when the companies adopt the digitalization, sometimes government may ask certain information. So in such a situation, whether to disclose the information to the government or not, such a time we will come across the principles and disclosure issues. Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for the opportunity given to me for presenting my ideas and sharing my experience. If any of the participants have any kind of a questions, I am very much happy to answer your doubts and queries.
Thank you so much, Dr. Virupaksha. Believe me, sir, your topic was very interesting, but I think the listeners also kept me very busy, the participants. The number of questions are so many that, I'm finding it difficult to track all the questions now. Ada banyak pertanyaan, yeah, so that shows the interesting topic. Right, so thank you so much, Dr. Virupaksha. Once again, on behalf of Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung, we would like to thank all the speakers, Pak Danny Idol, Rismi Adi, Dr. Virupaksha Gaud, and also Dr. Nalini ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. Very interesting, lots to learn, and as we move forward. Okay, now I believe Kaka and all the lecturers, I believe there are quite a few participants even from India, from different universities. So we welcome them also. Thank you so much for your participation. And we look forward for further enhancing India-Indonesia education links. Okay, so now I believe there are a lot of questions. So may I request probably all the speakers to please help us in clarifying the questions. There are many questions. So in fact, I'm running short of pages to write the questions. Karena ada banyak pertanyaan ya, kakak-kakak. But thank you. Really appreciate all the questions. Okay, the first question it comes probably to Dr. Nalini. The question is from Tario about the safety. Like, we are moving in the digital era. Safety becomes very we are not feeling safe. So Tario feels that I feel very unsecured in this digital era. Your views, ma'am, on that? Ma'am, sorry, we are not able to hear you, ma'am. Could you please unmute yourself? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for this question. As you all know, as the technology advances and we human beings also get adopted to it, and also there is a threat of the usage of the technologies also. But as the saying goes, we cannot stop at that time, right? So we need to move on with the technology, also find the solutions to bridge the gap, like security aspects of, putting ourselves at the risk. So therefore, we need to follow the standards and technologies which has been prescribed by so for example, NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, or the European standards. I mean, people are working towards that in the areas of cryptography and network security and as such. Okay, there are a lot of protocols, a lot of inbuilt systems. People are already using it, antivirus mechanisms, intrusion detection systems. So like that it goes, because we need to move on with the technologies, right? We cannot stop just because there is some threat. We need to find the solutions for the threat in terms of the technology itself. So therefore, making use of these cyber security aspects or algorithms which are made as a standard in the worldwide. So for example, advanced encryption standard was the standard. So still it is standard, okay? Because it is unbroken so far. And there is a RSA mechanisms, Reverse Shamir Adelman public key cryptography systems or digital certificates. So an antivirus mechanism. So therefore, equip yourself with all these technologies, firewall mechanisms, intrusion detection systems, honeypot mechanisms, and these cyber security solutions provided by the researchers in those areas. So therefore, we need to make ourselves secure, and we need to be more knowledgeable with respect to these things. So therefore, we shouldn't be feeling unsafe. We should feel safe with the technologies and usage of the technologies. Wherever there is a threat, we need to counter threat that actually. So that's how make use of that technology to counter the threats of the technology. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Use the technology. Yeah.
The next question is from IIS Ernavati. The question is, how do we protect our mobile phone and our digital equipments, especially in this era? Any suggestions?
Is the question is for me itself?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. As I mentioned, see, you should be alert. As I told, whatever is happening, keep your eyes, ears open, okay? Be reading whatever is happening in the society and be alert, and also don't fall as a prey to the fraud mechanisms which are happening, and also equip your mobile systems with the already software provided, like antivirus mechanisms. A lot of solutions are available, okay? Keep yourself safe, and also there is a honey trapping mechanisms which fraudulent people use. So they just trap you with so many mails or scams, I can tell. Okay, so therefore be alert and don't fall as a prey, because you need to be intelligent to identify what is good and what is not good. Okay, if somebody says that immediately I'm going to transfer $1 lakh to your account, don't just reveal all your account details to them. Okay, be alert and be safe. And if you feel that there is something wrong going on, cyber security, police mechanisms are available. So therefore, contact them immediately. And if something goes wrong in the banking system, contact the banking branch immediately and update them with all the information, so that you should keep yourself safe. Okay. So usage of technology is one thing, and keeping safe with all these fraudulent which are happening is another thing. So be knowledgeable and be intelligent to know what is good and what is not good. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So we have to be careful. If someone offers $1 million, that means it's something that we have to be careful and not be excited, but we need to be careful about it, right?
Exactly,
Thank you so much,
exactly.
ma'am. Thanks a lot. Ma'am, one more question is from Andre Riobasa, one of the active, I would say, one of the active participant. Quite a few questions from Andre Riobasa. The question is that AI, artificial intelligence, is a part of our life.
Yes.
Will there be any law, will there any be law for AI in the future? Your views on it. Thank you.
Yes, yes, of course, because when we talk about this security aspects, okay, so therefore similar kind of law should be applicable to artificial intelligence also, because these artificial bot mechanisms, what I can tell, okay, chatbots or which can be anything, again, they can act as a fraudulent mechanisms, right? So therefore, there should be judicious decisions taken by the governments to impose the laws. If something goes wrong in the usage of those artificial intelligence techniques, who is responsible for that? So, and the vulnerability is more actually. So therefore, there should be law imposed by the governments looking at the world scenario as well as the local scenario. The local governments also should impose the laws with respect to this artificial intelligence. So therefore, if everybody starts building the robots and they've been unethically doing the things, so who is responsible? So therefore, the same law which is applicable to the human beings, because we're talking about making robots as good as human beings, right? So therefore, the law should be applicable for the owner of those robots or other mechanisms. So therefore, the punishable act should be there. That's what I feel.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you.
actually, I forgot there's one more question, and this is actually from Adnan Saifur Rohim. The question is that, of course, in 5G, there are a lot of benefits, as we all know, as you also mentioned in your slides. But
Correct.
he's also heard some news that 5G network can also harm the health. Do you think it is harmful to the health? And if it is yes, how can we minimize the health impact by the 5G network? Thank you.
Yes, of course. Not only in 5G, in 4G and 3G also, we have seen scientists and health experts have been advising not to use a mobile so near to you, and these electromagnetic waves can affect you in a greater way, right? But in the case of 5G, as we know that the distance is very less, the wavelength is very less, because the transmission in terms of gigabits we hear, right? So therefore, it is very possible that we always will be holding the mobile towards us, because we want to see the information very often. But only thing is, we need to be very careful with respect to electromagnetic radiations, which are very much high in those mobile networks. So therefore, keeping distance is one thing, and also protective mechanisms you should be using, protective gear mechanisms you should be using, so that you keep yourself safe from the electromagnetic radiations. So that's how it should be.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So every benefit, there is a cost, but yes, we need to be careful
Yes,
about
yes.
that. Okay,
Correct.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, the next question is actually from Mohammed Nico Parmana, and that is for Padani. Padani, the question is whether scientific data will have a major influence in the technological development.
Excuse me, I cannot hear it clear, Mr. Rafi. Can you repeat that?
The question is whether the scientific data will have a major influence in the technological development as we move forward. Of course, there are a lot of technological development. Will any scientific data will there be a major influence on the technological development? Your
Of
views,
course. Okay, thank you very much for the question. Of course, our scientific data, as I said in my presentation, that will become one of the most major impact on digital transformation. As Dr. Nelini said, also big data now has become an important part in our life. Now, there is, of course, there will be our decision making, our in major importance will affect by the data. This data science will become one of the major interesting issue that students also could take project in their education, because it will have a great impact and it will has a great value in the future of digital transformation. I think that's therapy from my view.
Sure, Pa. That's true. Actually, everything, just to update, just to inform a little bit, Pa, I think everything we work on the data. So whatever the data
Yes.
figures we get based on that, we move forward on that part. So yes, there will be definitely an impact depending on the scientific data. Thank you so much, Padani. Pa, the next question for you is actually from Silfania. Sorry for the wrong spelling. So Silfania Diva Zazrilia. The question is, what should we prepare to keep up with this digital transformation? I mean, in the form of mindset thinking, because we know technology will change our lifestyle. Your views, Padani.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Rafi. Okay, our first, there is actually a research on this in our level of digital literate. The first level is digital competence. We must make sure our digital competence, our skill, our concept, our approach, our attitude is toward the digital competence. The next level is the digital usage, our professional discipline in application and how used to use digital technology. The last part, we will able to approach the digital transformation in innovation and also creativity. So we, or as a student, the question from the student, so we need to prepare ourselves in this digital transformation. First, make sure your digital competence is on the right path. Next, your digital usage. And the last part, of course, you can have innovation and creativity in digital transformation. Please choose the correct path in your study. Involve the digital in technology in your part of life because fundamentally it will change how's the way we in this life, how everything in this life has an impact on the digital data. So make sure you have the digital competence so you may not lose your sight or your view or your career in the future. That's it, Mr. Ravi, from me.
Sure. Thank you so much, Pa. Another question from Andre Rupasa. The question is, what is the boundaries of artificial intelligence and machine learning? Because with the news of RoboDog from the Boston Dynamics, I can say that even pet now are already becoming, they are being replaced. So, and how can we draw that boundary? Please advise. Thank you.
Okay, in my view in that area, I think not all robot can replace a human life or even a pet in that subject. Yeah, we still have our heart. We still have our compassion. We still have our non-logical thinking. That's what differentiates human from robot. So I think the boundary will always be there. Even in job, not all job can be replaced by a robot. Yes, there is some job that become lost because they replaced by artificial intelligence or machine learning, but there are also a few fields that cannot be replaced. Doctor, for instance, lecturer or teacher, for instance, that cannot ever be replaced by an artificial intelligence or by a robot. Yeah, it's different if the job subject is administrative. In the last presentation of Dr. Viru Paksa, that say credit view is not again use a human resource to do that. Credit analyst, this is can be replaced by an application. So if we're speaking about boundaries between human and robot, there will always be there. Not all job, not all requirement can be replaced by a robot. We as a human has also a major big role or a value that we can still have to make that boundary always exist between human and robot. Maybe that is from my view, Mr. Ravi.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Padani. Dr. Virupaksha, would you like to add something, sir, on this point?
As per my knowledge goes, yes, there is a certain limitation. We cannot replace entire our operation with robots or any modern tools. At the end of the operation, a manual intervention is required because there can be an artificial generated transaction. For an example, I as a credit evaluator, if any individual does a continuous transaction in his bank statement, robot will not identify it. If it is artificial one, robot will just continuously allocate the score to that financial transaction. If there is a reasonable manual intervention, then I can identify this is an artificial and we should not sanction any loan to that particular person. Yes, there is a necessity of manual intervention, but not all the places. In certain places, manual intervention is required.
Okay, right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, the next question is from Bonal Ray Juan. And the question is whether 5G will replace 4G. Do I need a new phone like when the 4G network was launched a few years ago? Maybe Dr. Nalini, would you like to answer that, ma'am?
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course, because, as the technology advances, the inbuilt things of the mobile also would have to change, because the kind of mobiles we had in, say, for example, 5 years back or 6 years back, say that was adopted to 2G or 3G. Now we are having smartphones that are adopted to 4G, right? So therefore, things will change because technology is changing. Maybe some are to a little extent will be adaptive, but to a greater extent, of course, new phones will come. That's what we have been seeing with the history also. So therefore, we should be, yeah, it's a good thing that you will be purchasing new phone for 5G.
Yeah, right, ma'am.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the next question is from Iya Zaran. And the question is that what are the challenges of the 5G era, especially in Indonesia itself, because digital transformation itself will impact our lives. Dr. Nalini?
Yes, because it's all the government's decisions which makes sense. And also we have been passing through this 2G, 3G and 4G eras as well. So we should be adaptive to the technology. There is no other go, because the advantages provided by these 5G networks, okay, so which people have been already speaking about at the government levels also. So therefore, we should be adapted to the new technologies. And of course, we should welcome it, because see the kind of the technology we had for 4G and when compared with 2G, of course, we don't like 2G now, right? Because of its latency and other issues. So therefore, we should welcome that, but with policies and regulations provided by the telecom authorities over the world, as well as at the local national level as well. So we should welcome the technology. There is no other go. Sir, you're on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, ma'am. I actually, sorry. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Yes,
the question is actually negative impact of 5G for humans.
Yeah, health-wise.
And this question is from Diana Halim. Yes, ma'am, please.
Yes, people are speaking about the same thing with 4G, 3G as well, electromagnetic radiations. And also with respect to 5G, the distance covered will be, I mean, at where every hops, you can tell that, see, so the receiving stations will be there, okay? So that is the advancement of 5G networks nowadays. So therefore, if you move towards the other side of the tower, okay, you will not be able to get the information. So you should be within the vicinity of the radius of the coverage of the signals actually. So of course, there is a pros and cons as well. So with respect to the health hazards as well as the advancement of the technology, and I'm sure people will come out with new solutions for, protective mechanisms as well, because whenever we are using this mobile network communications, it should not impact our health. First of all, that is the thing, because of electromagnetic, too much of exposure to this electromagnetic radiations. And of course, the health experts will suggest something towards that. So that's what people are also thinking about it actually. So therefore, we should welcome the technology as well as with the safety mechanisms. So that's my observation.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. One more question, Danny. Itu question is that currently this question is from Christian Ismail, and the question is currently the digital transformation era such as online learning is caused by pandemic. what will be the atmosphere and spirit of digital transformation be like in the future when the pandemic ends? Do you think it will change or will it be different? Thank you.
Okay. Yes, that's right. The COVID-19 pandemic has a great impact on our digital transformation pace. It speed up ahead more than 6 years, they say, survey said. And actually, I think it will never be gone. Our digital transformation, we already had a roadmap to 25 years ahead. In our country itself, I think it will always be a part of us, even this when this pandemic is gone. Uh, Technology cannot be stopped. It will always grow. It will always impact our every essence of life, our way of doing things. So I think it will still become part of us, even in learning. I think we will not become back to full conventional way meeting our teacher in our classroom, but we will always be implementing our technology like in learning or in massive online online course or etc etc. I think it will always be there. It will never be gone. I think that's my view, Mr. Ravi.
Sure. Thank you. I would just like to inform all the participants that the number of questions there are increasing. There are many questions increasing. Unfortunately, we will not be able to answer all the questions, but please, I request maybe the admin can please enter the email address of STTB in the chat box, and all the queries, all the questions. We request, we appreciate all the queries, but we apologize. We don't have the time to answer all the queries, but we sincerely appreciate it. So we request the admin to please enter the email address of the of STTV in the chat box, and all the queries which are not being answered, we apologize, but we request you to please send an email, and we will make sure that we will ask the speakers to share the comments on this. Once again, we apologize. We will not be able to take all the questions. We'll just take last two questions. And for the others, we apologize in advance. The last two questions, the first one is from Jejin Jenal Mustafa. The question is, what is most important aspect in developing digital transformation so as not to deviate from the main function? Dr. Virupaksha, maybe you would like to answer that, sir?
Yes, in the moving from manual system to the digital system,
main function.
most important
question is, what is the most important aspect in developing digital transformation so as not to deviate from its main function?
is by retaining our function, so we can move with the right people. The first thing is we need the suitable people. We have to identify the suitable people. People who have the knowledge about what kind of a systems are required, what kind of a technology is required. One leader is important to drive this change, this transformation. And leader and the people, key people, this is called key core team. Wherever in any organization, the transformation, this kind of a transformation is implemented by key core team. There will be core team members. They will identify the suitable technology, suitable tools. They will implement it in a appropriate manner. So without disturbing our function, core function, using the core team, we can transform towards the digital system. I mean, people is important. They will take care of everything. I hope I'm answered this question.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Sure. Right, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Last question, for today, may I request Dr. Nalini, ma'am? This is actually from Suchi Noor Intan. And the question is, how is the process of using 5G over the world? Will it be immediate? Will it be used immediately, or will there be a gradual process? Your views, ma'am.
Yes, of course, people already have started talking about it in all the government sectors, in the government parliamentarians. So therefore, there is no delay at all, actually, because all the policies are in place. We can say that telecom regulator authority of the European standards, which has been the standard worldwide, people follow that, and it's been already distributed across all the nations. and people are already started looking at it, and all the heads of the nations already started speaking about it, and also lots of conferences are happening about it. And I'm sure that within no time the 5G will take over the existing 4G or 3G. So therefore, within another 4 to 6 months,
in process, and it's going to
yes,
take over pretty soon.
yes. So in no short of time, it will be in
Thank
place.
you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. Right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Once again, we apologize. There are questions coming in from Mohammad Lutfi Bangun, from Andrew Ripasa, from Nofi Dinur, from Vidhi Lingi Jelani, from Wildan Lukman, from Shafiq Uman, from Dandi, from Farida. There are so many questions. We once again apologize. We are not able to answer those questions. But please, I request, I think the admin has entered the email ID of STTV. Please enter your questions. Please send your emails to the email address of STTV, and we will definitely ask the speakers to answer those questions, and we'll revert back to you. Once again, we apologize due to the limitation of time. Okay, so once again, we'd like to thank the wonderful speakers, Dr. Virupaksha Gaud. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Nalini ma'am, thank you. And also Pa Dani Idol. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Kaka, all the lecturers and also the participants, we would like to inform you all, Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung had been to India earlier this year. Mereka udah pernah ke India tahun ini sebelumnya. Dan sebenarnya udah ada MOU. Mereka udah tanda tangan MOU dengan beberapa universitas yang terbaik di India. Dan sebenarnya MOU-nya udah ada dan implementasi juga udah ada. Dan sekarang kita juga lagi di eksplorasi kolaborasi in the form of credit transfer, in the form of dual degree program. And also I've been informed that Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung is going to be having greater collaborations for the students of Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung and for the other students of Indonesia. So please be informed, and for further details, we request you all to please ask STTV for the details, and we'll be more than happy to enhance the academic collaborations. Okay. The other than that, one thing before we go, Bapak Ibu, is the culture of Indonesia, is the group photos. Bapak Ibu, that is something we cannot. We finish something and we don't have a group photo. That is not possible, right? So before we take the group photos, on behalf of Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung, on behalf of Acharya Institutes, also behalf of Nite Meenakshi Institute of Technology, tie-ups, and all other people involved, we would like to thank everyone for being a part of this wonderful, informative webinar. We also would like to thank all the participants, all the students, all the lecturers, all the colleagues from India and Indonesia. Thank you for your active participation. We apologize once again that we could not answer all the questions because the questions were too many. But please remember, the question will still be answered, but we will probably use the digital way, right? It's a digital transformation, Bapak Ibu, so we'll use the digital way. So please send your email and we'll answer them. So now let me request the admin from Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung, Pak Sani, to please, please help us, Pa, for taking the photos per screen. I think there are quite a number of screens. There are 11 screens, right? Tapi mungkin kakak-kakak, all the lecturers, I also request you all, let's really keep this moment with us. I request you all to please take photos of the session, because you just don't know photo yang mana yang bagus ya, kakak-kakak. We do not know whose photos is going to be good. So we request you all to please take the photos, and we request you all to please share it with us either by email or also on social media. Please do share with us. We'll probably share our Instagram ID. Maybe Pasani bisa kirim ID-nya yang STTB.
Silakan Pak.
Ya, kita kirimin. So please, so please also feel free to upload it on the social media, and also please feel free to tag us. We'll be very happy to be on the tag, right? So thank you so much. Thanks a lot once again. Now may I request Pasani to please take the photos, Pak. Maybe screen satu ya, Pasani.
Baik Pak. Oke, baik.
Bisa ambil yang screen satu.
Baik, silakan Pak, senyum
Oke,
dulu
so
Pak
we just-
semuanya.
Udah ya Pak?
Sudah Pak,
Udah ambil ya Pak semua screen?
sudah Pak.
Oh, okay. So
Belum Pak, mungkin belum Pak. Baru mulai mau ini Pak, baru mulai Pak.
okay, yeah. May I request everyone, Kaka, all the lecturers, we request you all to please activate your cameras so that we make sure all your photos are there, right? And please give a nice smile. It's a Friday, it's a weekend coming up. So I'm sure semangat ya, Kaka, semuanya, all are very happy that it's a weekend coming up. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of things. Also, one more important point, the copies of the PowerPoint, we will request the speakers to share the copies of the PowerPoint, and we will share it using the email address. So we request you all to please, to please make sure that the emails will follow on this part. I've also shared my Instagram and also I've shared my Facebook. So Kaka yang mau tag, silakan. Please feel free to tag. We'll be very happy. Right. So yes, once again, we'll take now page 1. Can we take the photographs? 1, 2, 3. Let's take the photographs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sudah Pak.
Halaman kedua, Kaka, all the lecturers. There you go. Yeah, it's a nice hands up. Yes, let's have the yang kita tembol ya, yang yes. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Terima kasih. Halaman 2, thank you. Halaman 3, Kaka, ibu-ibu, bapak. Ya, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Halaman 4, everyone. Wow, everyone has activated their cameras. Thank you so much. Terima kasih banyak. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Terima kasih. Halaman yang kelima. Kakak, please. There you go. Yeah. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Terima kasih. Halaman yang ke-6. Kakak, ibu, bapak. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Halaman yang ke-7. Not many cameras are active here. So may I request all of you all to please activate the cameras. Halaman number 7. Yeah, thank you. 1, 2, and 3. Terima kasih. Thank you. Halaman yang 8. Belum ada yang active, but on the cameras, doesn't matter. We'll just take a photograph of your names and we will still upload it. And please do tag yourselves. Thank you so much. Terima kasih. Yang halaman 9. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. And the last one is 1, 2, 3. Maaf, ada halaman yang 11 juga masih ada. Sorry. There you go. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so once again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful webinar. This is the first of the webinar by Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung with India, and we hope this is just the beginning of more and more collaborations and more information sharing with all our wonderful students and lecturers from India and Indonesia. Thank you so much. Please take care. Please be safe. COVID-19 is still there. Digitalization is taking place, but at the same time, COVID-19 also is taking place. So please take care, be safe, and we will see you again sometime very soon. Please take care. God bless. Thank you so much. Terima kasih banyak semuanya. Thank you.
Thank you so
Terima
much.
kasih
Thank you.
banyak Pak.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Raffi, Dr. Nalini,
Thank you
Dr.
everyone.
Pirupaksa.
Thanks for
Thank
the
you.
opportunity.
Thank
Jangan
you.
lupa juga untuk
Dr.
semua
Nalini,
peserta.
Dr. Pirupaksa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi sir. Thank you,
Thank
Nasir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, sir, also.
Thank you,
you,
Madam
Dr.
Nalini, ma'am.
Nalini.
Mr. Danny, thank
Dr.
you.
Piru.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
very
you.
much, Dr. Nalini.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.
Bagi semua peserta, Bapak Ibu, jangan lupa untuk mengisi presensi karena itu akan menjadi data sertifikat. Kalau belum mengisi, silahkan bisa diisi di kolom chat. Ada link yang harus di sana bisa mengisi biodata. Baik, terima kasih banyak atas partisipasinya. Thank you very much for all participants. And see you next time.
Yeah, thank you, Hasani, Takwin. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam.
Thank you,
once
Mr. Ravi
again, everyone.
Makija.
Thank you, Pak Nasir. Terima kasih
Thank
banyak.
you once
Terima kasih,
again.
terima
Thank
kasih.
you, everyone.
Thank you, Pak. Thank you, Pak
Thank
Raffi.
you. Thank you, Pak Dani. Thank you, Dr. Nalini. Thank you, Dr. Virupaksha. Thank you to the team of Sekolah Tinggi Teknologi Bandung. There are a lot of people, Bapak Ibu, there are a lot of people working behind. So, Ahmad, Sani, many people working behind. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the team, Sekolah Tinggi
Thank you
Teknologi
so
Bandung.
much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful webinar. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you next time, everybody.
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Once again, thank you, Nasir sir. Thank you, Ravi Makiza sir.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you,
Biru.
Dr. Paksa.
Asmani, thank you so much for the wonderful music. I really feel I'm in a hotel finishing finishing a seminar.
Yeah, not feeling like going only.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
sitting at home, it's
Thanks a
different.
lot.
Yeah, but Tapi, you really gave us the feeling that we have finished a seminar or webinar. The hotel and kita sekarang, yeah, we are just finishing the process, yeah, of the music, the instrumental music, which is very nice. But thank you so much, Vasani. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
So I take the leave now. Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Dr. Nalini.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Nasir, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye, all of
Thank
you.
you, madam.
Bye.
Thank you all. So we'll take the leave.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye, madam. Bye, Nasir sir. Bye, Ravi Makiza sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Biru. Mr. Raffi, kita lanjut ngobrol untuk yang tadi dibahas ya Pak Raffi di WhatsApp Pak. Ya.
Yeah, sure, Pak. Boleh, Pak. Okay, there are still more 100 participants. I know you all would like to be with us together, but thank you so much. Please fill up the application. Please fill up the form. I think there's ada form yang harus diisi untuk kehadirannya dan sertifikatnya. So please fill up the forms and please send it.
you.